I'm just traveling, traveling, traveling. I'm just traveling through.
Right, I'm starting this now.
Hi, welcome to Transline Hollywood with Suzanne
Suzanne!
and Camille. We have been making lots of videos and a lot of people have been commenting.
She won't tell me what the comments are.
Yes, I do.
I expect we're going to be, I'm going to get stabbed,
Skewered,
Yes,
stabbed,
okay.
all those things. So,
I'm ready for it.
be careful what you wish for. Someone said you actually didn't ask the question from the second video, so here I am asking the question. Can you be a man and a woman at the same time, and is it confusing?
What do you mean at the same time? You're always who you are, all the
Right.
time. You might be presented differently. I mean, if I'm out as a woman somewhere, I am not going to walk like a man or talk like a man or be impolite like a man usually is. You know, I'm going to be like, well, maybe not impolite, but I'm going to try to be more civil and gentler and conduct myself differently than I would as a man. So, did that answer it?
Sort of. Not really.
She's so difficult.
Did I answer for you? No, but you mentioned that it can be confusing. You know, it's confusing having a male and a female inside of you at the same time. Do they coexist?
Oh, I tried to destroy it so that I would never go to the female place because where I was raised, it just wasn't acceptable. You know, young boys did not act like girls. You didn't even express yourself in any kind of feminine way. It was just not done. So I suppressed it, and I used every tool I could available, sports, 24/7, 365 days a year, dating girls, tried to ignore it, and then finally it was not ignorable.
So when did you come to terms with allowing yourself to be the woman side of you?
So I think the question is, when did I finally stop suppressing a desire to dress up and conduct myself as a pretty young lady like you? Finally, I couldn't do it anymore. And that's when I came to California, because California was a land of people like me. Because I read about, well, for lack of a better word, the cross-dressing scene in Los Angeles.
So when you came to Hollywood and you came to California, knowing that you could probably be yourself?
Well, I could learn about myself. I could meet other people like me, and I could maybe more clearly define what I was and what was going on in my psyche. So that was one of the reasons to come to California. But I found a link. In today's terminology, I found a link to other people. There was a nightclub in Los Angeles called the Queen Mary, and I went there dressed up one time, the first time I ever went out in public dressed up, and I was terrified. Yes, I remember it like it was the last night because I was terrified, but it was night, of course. Didn't dare do it during the day, and I went to that club in the San Fernando Valley.
So first, I want to know the outfit.
Oh, well, that was back before. Well, actually, jeans were bell bottoms. You know, it was like so. But very conservative, very conservative. As a matter of fact, I was like embarrassed. I was so conservative. Once I got in the club, I felt like I was covered in a tent. I mean, everybody else was like, you know, dressed really hip, and they were
Unhippie.
and they unhippie. Some of them were really well. The club was a female impersonator place too, and so the performers were Vegas-style performers. They were really accomplished.
Describe how you're feeling. So
Terrified.
what happened? So you were at home and
I decided I was going to do it, no matter how afraid of being, you know, a tail light being out, the cops stopping me, or afraid to drink for fear of the police. But of course, after I had a few drinks, I really settled down, so it was fine. I drove very carefully. Probably the first time in my life that
I've been in the car and zoomer. You zoom all around the park. I learned all the back streets with you.
Yes,
I like
right.
that.
I know Los Angeles like the back of my hand, I guess. I mean, I know some.
I know, I love that about you. But
Weird
anyway,
routes.
so you drove there, then you got out of the car. So that must have been a bit nerve-wracking, getting out of the car and then walking to the club.
Should I become an Uber driver?
You could actually, you know.
I don't think so. No.
Well, you know, my last Uber driver was
Trans?
was trans.
Transsexual?
Transsexual.
Oh,
Yeah. So she told me.
post-surgery, eh?
Yeah.
Mm.
She had a few stories to tell too.
I know.
But anyway, so you walked to the club. You were nervous. It was all but you were thrilled at the same time.
Yeah, it was really exciting. And then to spend, 3 or 4 hours there and meet other people and see a great show and careful not to drink too much, but I had a couple of drinks and, it made it easier. And
So who was the first person you spoke to? Did people come up to you? Did you go up to them?
No, I spoke to a really great-looking lady who was quite a bit older than I was. But she was like not the hostess for the bar or the club, but she was just one of those greeters that, sees new people, goes up, introduces herself and said, we've never seen you before. Welcome to welcome here. And, let me introduce you to some people and can we buy you a drink and relax and enjoy yourself. And so I said, I'm scared to death. It's my first time out. So the people in the underground scene were just great.
So when you walked in the club, how many people were actually there?
Oh, it was it was a weeknight. There was probably 100 people. Well, it was not just a gay bar. It was a club that welcomed straight people and, couples for the show, and the show was really great. And that was the main room, and then there was the back room. And the back room is where we all were. And when I got enough courage to walk through that door and go in the back room, the crowd was cross-dressers, I guess is the best way to say it back then. It was that transgender didn't really have a meaning. It wasn't used back then.
So here you are at this club. Did you find was it a success? Did it make you want to dress up again?
It did, but going to the club that night and meeting people, and then I got invited to go to a meeting of this group, and I went to that and met even more people, which was at a hotel or motel in the ballroom or the main room, and it was just a meeting for cross-dressers and their wives.
Thank you very much. Come back. And we have lots of social media. We even got a Facebook page up now. Can you believe it? Can you believe it?
I don't know how to do any of this stuff.
But that's all right. Some of you out there know that, because otherwise you wouldn't be watching us. So thank you very much, and next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.
I'm just traveling. I'm just traveling through. Ooh.